Right, what about that? I wonder if anyone can hear me now. I think we're doing a bit better. Oh, brilliant. It's come through on my phone. Right. There we go. Sound? Yes, yay! We got sound. I'm so excited. I've got trains moving, I've got sound working, I've got cameras working. Well, this is dead exciting. Right, let's try and do something a bit more complicated. So I've got these two trains going around. They're just sort of chasing each other, really. And what's happening? The mixed freight's waiting. Oh no, it's underway now. But they're both sort of whizzing round and round, sort of chasing each other. And look, you know, no hands. So that's iTrain doing it all. Train stopping, not me. So what am I going to do now? What I can do, if I stop the passenger train, I've got a different route where it moves between some of the staging yard lanes, but it shunts rather than routes. So instead of going all the way around the track, it'll just go forwards or backwards, change the points, and then go into a different lane. And obviously, doing that is going to get in the way of the freight train. But let's see how we go. So where is it now? All right, as usual, it wants to go to the same lane. I think the mixed freights, it says it's going to staging yard 3, but I think it's going through staging yard 1 first on the way there and not stopping. So let's have a look. Yeah, that looks like it's in staging yard 1 now. It looks like it's not going to stop. I know what you're saying, Jeff. Love the train. Can we see the entire dashboard of the track? There's not much you're missing, to be honest. Down at the bottom, it just comes together and loops around. There you go. I think you can see that. Okay. Could probably can I move? No, I can't scroll that down. I need a bigger screen. I need a bigger screen. Right. Now what's going on? So the mixed freight stopped. Oh, and the passenger train's is gone backwards and now it's shunting forwards. So the freight train's waiting for the passenger train to get out of the way. I think this is working. No, I'm not using Railcom. So I'm just using occupancy detection to feedback, but it doesn't actually say which train it is over the feedback. It knows which train's where because the software works it out, you know, on the basis that there's a train in one block and it's going forward. It must end up in the next block. I'll tell you what. My laptop's better run out of battery. Let me just go and get the charger before everything goes wrong. I'll leave the trains going. Ooh. All right. I need to go to my favourite place of yours, which is crawling under layout. Plug this in. Is everything still all right up there? Have they crashed yet? they have crashed because I managed to power cycle the controller. Plug in the laptop before it runs out of juice. Right. No worries, says Jeff. I use iTrain and now Railcom as well. So does Railcom sort of add anything to it? I mean, how does it make it better? You'll have to tell me if that's a good idea. Right, now what's going on? Everything's stopped. Is that a good thing? You know, I've got to just get everything to stop. Disconnect it. And reconnect it. Because we had a little power outage on the. Oh, it's all gone strange there. Right. Let's see if you're all still with me or not. Oh dear. Yeah, it was working well. Now it's all gone wrong. Why did it not connect? That's my question. Oh, there's I unplugged it, so that makes a difference. It seems to think it's connected now. Right, we'll just set everything going again, see what happens. That's no good. The iTrain thinks it's driving trains, but it's clearly not. I've never done this when I'm streaming at the same time, so I think that might be part of the problem. Let me just get it to stop now. Where are we? Mixed freight's on lane 3. Passenger trains on lane 6. Okay. Train lost on switchboard. What I don't know is why it won't disconnect. Can't say I'm very impressed. There's something going on here. I'm going to close iTrain and start it up again. That's only good. Show the desktop. That's all you can ever do. Right, let's start again. Yeah, I think the whole computer is struggling to run. I think I'm just killing the processor, and that's what's stopping anything from working. That's a bit of a disappointment, really. I rebooted my controller. Well, yeah, I knocked the power connector for controller. There we go. It says net now. Previously, it didn't say net. I knocked the power to the controller when I was plugging in the laptop. It's a Digitrax DCS 210, and unfortunately the power plug is like really jangly. I've got a red dot at the bottom of iTrain, but I did have a red dot. Yeah, and that shows it's not connected to Digitrax. Yeah, no, you're right. So that's why I've closed it down and started it up again. I've now got a red light on the Digitrax unit. So hopefully we'll be all right now. Let's see if we can connect. All right, so that's gone connected. All the points have started changing around. I can hear, so that's good. The trains are in the lanes that iTrain thinks they're in. That's a good start as well. So let's press go. Right. The passenger train's going to do a bit of shunting, and the mixed freight's going to have to wait for it to get out of the way before it can go. So I think that's where we are. Bingo. So I've never had that happen before, actually. I think that must be just the computer struggling. My laptop is 10 years old. Probably need a new bit of kit. No one's going anywhere. Oh no, there we go. Someone's going somewhere. So Jeff, if you use iTrain, you may know the answer to this. Is there a way to get it to change all the points it needs to change at the same time? Because I have to allow it 3 seconds for the tortoise to sort of change the point all the way over. And if it does one after another, it has to do 4 points to set a route. Then that's sort of 12 seconds of nothing happening. I'd rather prefer it could do it all at the same time. It's happening. I think USB connection sometimes. Yeah. Yeah, no, I think you're right, Jeff. Right, what are we doing? I think this train's coming back now. There we go. Where's it going? Backing itself into lane 2. And then the freight should go after that, I've thought. I say it's not a very exciting layout that I've got at the moment. And in fact, all this track is the sort of the basement layer. So it's sort of the underground staging yard, and where the trains go to off camera, they go up a slope, and that's the way into the scenic section, which doesn't exist at the moment. So eventually there'll be slightly more interesting bit of track. But this is just so that they can come off a point, go down the hill, and into the staging yard, and then come out the staging yard and back up the hill again. Also, only has to go in one direction. Don't have that issue. I set the route. Oh wow! Right, and they all change at the same time. Okay. There must be. I reckon there must be a setting somewhere or an option, but I just can't find it. It's a bit annoying there. Right, what's happening there? So the freight's gone all the way round. Passengers backing back into lane 1. So in a minute, the freight will be able to carry on. So I did try this with the freight train doing the shunting, but it's a bit unreliable. Has a few derailments going backwards. It seems to run alright going forwards. It's just not very happy going backwards. Oh, here we got both trains are waiting. I think the freight ones are slightly ahead. They're going at the same time. Yeah, freight train there. I think the freight train got there first. It's going forwards, and the passenger one shunting by going backwards. There we go. Passengers going backwards. Yeah, so it's not a very exciting. It's not a very exciting layout, but it is allowing me to sort of test various things and try out various features of iTrain and so on. So that's fine. I can get that done, you know, while I'm where I am. Before I sort of build anything else or try anything else, I can see if trains go around corners, and I can see if I get things to stop in the right place and all that stuff. So far, I think I'm doing all right. Nearly there. So one of the issues I had is the blocker track coming out the staging yard. I had set that to be critical because otherwise I could get in a situation where the shunting train wanted to back into a lane and the train doing loops wanted to go into the same, well, already had gone into the same lane, and they were deadlocked against each other. So I've had to set that critical so the shunting train won't, well, so when the shunting train's doing the shunting, it reserves the lane it's going into as well, and then the looping train won't go into it. But that means if they're chasing each other around, then they don't go as close to each other then, because then reserves two blocks. So I've got to look into that. So it's good. iTrain's so powerful, it takes ages to work it all out. So much stuff to learn. Yeah. It's good. You can sit back and watch the train. Well, this is it actually. It's quite nice just to have them running, and I can worry about whether the computer works or, you know, what's going on with the stream or whatever. But I think it'll make for a much more interesting running session, having trains doing things. So I'm quite pleased actually with the state of the stream. That seems to be working all right. I've sort of really struggled with this sort of thing in the past, trying to get the stream to work. Oh yeah, if I set the set to watch the stream on my phone, I can see what's see what everyone else can see. So that's good. All right. They'll keep whizzing around. That's going to happen in a minute. The passenger train backing out. I think so. There we go. Yeah, see, I think if it could change all the points at the same time, I think it'd be a bit quicker on the get-go. It's very good. The stream's fine. Nice one. I'm pleased about that. Yeah, I think my laptop's struggling a bit though. You know, the processor's going. You know, all the rest of it. So, don't know quite how the statistics are here. How many people are watching and stuff? I don't quite know. It says 7 concurrent viewers, but I don't think that's the case because. Oh, hello, Walter White's in. Hey, Walter. Yeah, I think when you say it's so cool, I mean, you know, in the context of model railway, you know, not that cool. But we think it's awesome, obviously. I wonder if I might try and just move the camera down a bit so you can just see a little bit more. I've had to use 2 extensions to my USB cable to get the camera from over there to the computer. So chances are I'll trip over it and not the tripod or something, but I'll give this a go. See if I can get it so you can see just a tiny bit more. Ooh. I need a slightly wide view of it. You can see on that. It's slightly the wrong thing on the screen. Yes, a little bit better. Get the camera that as well. We're in business. Ooh. Hey, Flint Hills. Great to see you. Great to see you. Ah, sorry. Flint Hills is Jeff. Right. That's me being a bit thick. Right, where are we up to? They've not crashed and they've not stopped yet or anything. Been running for half an hour. Although we had a bit of a false start, didn't we? So had a few things not work. But yeah, I'm pretty pleased with this. Right, what's happening now? The freight's off. And it looks like the passenger train's going to shunt backwards again. Yeah, see what I really need, I need a third train now, and I've got a few more locos, but I've got to do a bit of work on them to get them going. There's one in particular I got a speaker for it, and a next 18 sort of socket. So I'm going to wire that all up, do the conversion, and hopefully I can put a sound decoder in it. Well, yeah, I could turn some sound on. Do you want to hear some sound? Perhaps there's no one there anymore. Everybody was watching. How do I turn sound on? Oh, press the button here, didn't I? There we go. There's a bit of sound on the freight train. Let me know if you can hear that. Can never be sure. Right. Now that's the problem with the sound. So the iTrain will tell the train to go, and it will spend some time making sounds first. And then when it decides it's ready to go, by that time iTrain's got it up to full speed, so it goes shooting off, which isn't the best thing. I don't know, you have to tell me if you can hear anything. Possibly you can't hear any sound anyway. What's going on? Oh, look at that, the passenger train's finished its circuit. Reset that going again. So it just moves between some of the lanes several times over. But that's pretty good actually to get it to do the full timetable without sort of anything going wrong. I'm pretty pleased with it. There are a few problems with the layout. I think one of the points, this one up here, I don't know if you can see the cursor, but this one up here is unreliable. I'm going to have to get in there and change the tortoise point motor, which is something like everyone always says like tortoise they're like absolutely bulletproof and so on, but actually that's the second one I've had not work properly. Anyway, so I can't use lanes 7 and 8 because I can't rely on. I think that point motor will turn so you can get into 7 or 8, but it won't turn back. And then of course you end up with the train in the wrong lane. Computer panics, which is what happens. What's going on here? Yeah, you see you see there the freight train. It spent too much time making noises before it went. Which is why I think what I'm supposed to do is turn that feature off somehow, and then get iTrain to tell it to make the noises rather than the chip in the loco making the noises. But then I suppose that makes it less fun if you drive it manually. But I've got a lot to learn. Certainly the passenger train shunting forwards now, and freight train's waiting for it. Yeah, I think that'll be all right. Was it on my phone? I was running about 10 minutes behind. See, oh, Byron. Byron Bark, hello. Hello, awesome trains. Thank you, Byron. I say it's always nice to know I'm not talking to myself. I think that's why I don't really like doing these streams. I haven't done one in a year or something. But I don't much like doing it because, well, I feel like you're talking to yourself. I gotta go. I gotta go in a minute. Actually, I've got an appointment at 7 o'clock. So, yeah, I think we're doing all right. I think we're doing all right. All right, what's happening there? Okay. So I think the freight train will go in a minute once the passenger train's got out of the way. Oh, they've both got to stop. Yeah, see, I think if I had a third train and they could just stop a bit more, and a fourth train, just keep them whizzing around. And the game is to make sure they don't crash into each other. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop the passenger train and I'm going to put it on a passenger train just going forwards. And just going to edit the locks a bit. How do I do this? If I go to edit switchboard, and then the one that is this one, staging yard exit. If I set that not to be critical, so it's not critical, and that's okay because they're going forwards now, so I don't have that problem. And they'll chase each other around the layout going forwards, I think. There you go. See the freight train's on this line going up, and already the passenger train's moving into the previous block because it's no longer critical, so they can chase each other a bit closer. The passenger train's going forward there. I think the passenger train goes a bit faster than a freight train, so and they're both going in. They're both going into lane 3. There we go. The passenger train just almost stopped, and then the block ahead of it cleared, and off it goes. Looks like they're both going into lane 3. Freight train's gone through lane 1 without stopping. Walter says, you're easily in my top 5 modern train-based YouTube channels with less than 10,000 subscribers. Okay, well, that's great. Thanks, Walter. It'd be nice to have 10,000 subscribers, really, wouldn't it? There we go. We get what we're given in life. Yeah, no, it's frustrating actually. Well, I've just passed 1,000 subscribers, which obviously is right exciting. Because I've only done like 2 videos in the last year, maybe 1 in the last year, I think. I haven't got many watch hours because obviously you get more like people watching a video when it's new. So you know, if you're not 1 out every week, you know, then it all adds up. But if you haven't done anything for a year, you know, you're just relying on your old videos for people to watch. Now, I'm not gonna, what have I done? About 30 videos, something like that. So I've not actually got enough watch hours to press the magic button where YouTube takes you to the next level. I'm sure we'll get there eventually one day. Come on, we're not doing it for the money. Oh, but it's nice to have a be able to share your hobby with other people, isn't it? Right, what's going on here? So, freight train. Yeah, the freight train's going. Oh, it's right. The passenger train's waiting for the freight train. The freight train's waiting to make some noises. I think that's what's happening. It thinks the freight train's moving, but it's not. There you go. It's shoveling the coal. And in a minute, it's going to, there you go, straight to top speed. So I need to fix that somehow. That's my next thing to fix, isn't it? Anyway, it knows where it is. It knows what block it's in. That's that. Well, yeah, I was going to move the camera so you can sort of see up the hill a bit. Just slightly different view. I don't do this without breaking everything. For some reason, perhaps I got the screen. For some reason, it started flashing. Why is the camera got all funny? Whoops! Nearly tripped up over the cable. Right, there we go. We're doing a bit better. What's the time? Right, I'm gonna have to go in a minute. I'll be late. Anyway, look, it was great to have your company. I think I'm gonna have to get going. What shall I do? Freight train stopped. Let's stop that. And you stopped as well. I think they both stopped somewhere sensible. Yeah, they both stopped in the yard. So that's good. So I can disconnect. Brilliant. Power off. And I'll wrap up the stream now and say goodbye. But look, guys, thanks for joining me. I'm pretty confident. Actually, I feel a lot better. I was a bit worried about how I was going to do a stream like this, and that's actually worked quite well. I think I'm quite pleased. Yeah. So thanks for joining me, and perhaps I'll try and schedule something else. Put a bit more thought into it. Yeah, have a great time. All right, I'll see you again soon. Bye then.